Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing out there today? I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. If everybody would, just give me a number one so we know the mic is working fine and you can hear me. And we will say hello to some people. All right, here we go. All right, I'm getting some number ones now. All right, thank you all very much. I hope everybody is having a great Saturday night. Hope you all had a nice 4th of July. Maybe you were on vacation this past week. It is a very big vacation week. But if not, but hopefully you had a good 4th of July. And it is Saturday night once again. So there's a lot of things that are going on out here. And we're going to get to that here in just a few minutes. We're going to give this some time so maybe some more people can jump on. There's a lot of people coming on right now. Um, this way here, people don't have to like jump around and everything else. So we'll say some hellos to some people here. I saw Amanda was here from Australia, Sue from Tampa Bay, Terry, Rockamoss, Stewart's prepping, Frankie Boy, how you doing? My moderators, JT and Jan, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Jennifer Hall, let me just scroll down. Michael O'Brien, Terry's here. Dun, dun, dun. Deborah Stanley, Coffee King. I'll just scroll down through here. Deborah Murray, David, Diana's from Ohio. She's here. Jim from Georgia. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate it. Scroll through. I'm jumping around, so just bear with me here. People, Rena Lou's here. Must be a bunch of people. Yeah, a bunch of people just jumped in. That's why I jumped like crazy. All right. We got Mitch. We got Gina, Jonathan, Little Lone Prepper. Richard's here. Mary Lou, Flores, Lily, Brandy, K. Paul, Mary, John from Texas. You scroll back up through here. Snake Bite. Miss P Kitty 13, how are you? Jesus gives us eternal life. Richard, Jody. If I miss you, folks, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it intentionally. With everybody jumping on, it just goes haywire. RCX is here. Marianne, JM from Omaha, Nebraska. Artie. Grim Things, Diana Steak from Kentucky. Grim Things is from Utah. Gail from South Carolina. Anna T, Ontario, Canada. Welcome. Yeah, you guys had a big mess there just the other day, huh? Yesterday? Wow. Whew, I tell you what, that was horrible what happened up there. And I've seen all kinds of conflicting reports and stuff on what actually took place. I saw one report said it was an update to their system that caused it to crash. There was another one that said that there was some type of mainframe computer or something that went down that operated a lot of those different products that went out. It was just a big mess up there. That's why it's so important, people. If you're not aware, Canada, yesterday their internet, everything went down, and they couldn't pay with credit cards. They couldn't do any of that kind of stuff. So if you didn't have cash, you're pretty much, screwed. So that's why it's very important for you always to have emergency cash in your house. And this way here, if something like that did happen, you had cash to access right there. Sean, Weatherman, Philip. All right, folks. Looks like there's a pretty good bunch of you in here. I really do appreciate you all spending your time with me on a Saturday night. Lisa from Louisiana, Dee's Crafts from South Carolina, and see. Right. Javon is from Georgia. Kunyank Company, Louisiana. Shelly Penn from New York City. Hurricane 79 from Massachusetts. Youssef 68, Southwestern Virginia. Mike's here from Kentucky. Sherry from Florida. Howard's from Ohio. Jennifer from Florida. Dee's in the house in New Hampshire. I got more people just jumping in here. All right. Well, happy to say that everybody that won on last Saturday night's video on the big 4th of July giveaway that we had, everybody did contact me. So everybody did get their winnings and everything else. And I hope everybody is enjoying those things. And hopefully it helped you out and helped get you a little bit more prepared. We will be having another giveaway coming up soon. I'm trying to put together something interesting, something really nice for everybody. And I'm working on that right now. So there probably won't be a giveaway this coming Saturday. It'll probably be announced this coming Saturday, but it'll probably be the following Saturday. But I want to keep trying to do these giveaways and hopefully help people be prepared in any way, shape, or form that I can, because that's the name of the game right now. With everything that's going on in this world, it is just imperative that we all do our part to, be prepared. I'm just checking something real quick. All right. So on that, folks, we're going to get going. We got a lot of stuff to cover here. As you all know, I mean, the chaos has started and it's probably only going to be getting worse. And that is why it is so imperative for people to really pay attention to what's going on. I do know, I've said this before, I know there's a lot of people that don't like really watching too much news. I would highly suggest that you try to make sure that whatever you are doing, you try to make sure that you are staying focused and you are staying prepared. You want to try and do your best to keep ahead of the game. Now, depending on where you live and the size of your town, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of chaos that is starting to take place. And one has to ask themselves, is this because of where we're at with the economy? Are people really starting to realize they don't have food in the house? They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their mortgage. They can't put gas in their car. Here in Florida, every morning you turn the news on and somebody was shot and killed overnight, or multiple people. Um, there was some dude this past week pulled up to a Wendy's drive-through in Orlando and jumped in the window, grabbed the register and ripped it out of there and took off. I mean, I think people are starting to do this crazy stuff, and we really have to ask ourselves, are we is this country putting us in this situation? It's getting to the point where a lot of people are even scared to go to the grocery store anymore because of all the chaotic stuff that is taking place throughout this country. The country as a whole is strong. We're Americans and it's strong. But all it takes is a few to start to bring down the many. If you get what I'm saying here, folks, because I have to be careful what I say and how I come across on this platform. We have to sit back and really think about what is taking place. And what is taking place is causing more grief and more pain for us here. We have the government that just issued and is sending more money to Ukraine, a lot of money, billions of dollars, on top of everything we've already give them. And we are sending our oil overseas from here. So one has to ask themselves, how long is it going to be before that comes back to start raising our prices again? We're sending food, supplies, and everything else from this country. A lot of the outlooks for our yield this year on our crops and stuff aren't looking that good. They're not going to be like disastrous, but they're going to fall like way below where they should be due to the lack of fertilizer this year, the lack of either rain or too much rain, the droughts, the late planting that a lot of states they didn't get to plant on time. So all this stuff goes into play on us having a good producing harvest. And that's what we're based on. You have Russia that still will not allow Ukraine to ship out any of their grain. And my thing is, I'd really like to know how long that grain can last in those storage bins, silos, or however they're storing it over there before it goes bad. And then it's just useless. That could be all part of Putin's plan. Now, Putin did come out and say just the other day that as far as he's concerned, they're just getting started in the war. And they have been placing reserves on the other side of the Ukraine border, right in Russia, right along the border of all these men, because they estimate, now nobody knows, but the estimation is about 37 to 38,000 men that Russia has lost. Now, we have no really idea if that's a true number. No one really knows, and we'll probably never know. But the whole war over there is causing havoc on the whole world. It's affecting everybody in Europe. It's affecting everybody all the way to Australia. It's affecting people all the way around the globe. And what is this doing? Putin's plan, in my opinion, isn't so much the part of taking over Ukraine. If you follow me here, I believe, now this is just me, but I believe that for some strange reason, he's using this war to take control and cause havoc throughout the whole world. And the only thing he's really doing is invading one country that's not a NATO country, so he doesn't have to worry about any anybody retaliating, joining forces, or anything else. Now he has to worry about them, countries like us and Europe and Germany and all these giving Ukraine ammunition, guns, tanks, helicopters, drones, all that kind of stuff. And that's where he stands with that. So, in a sense, his main goal, I believe, is to cause havoc throughout the whole world by restricting oil, wheat, fertilizer, because see, he's controlling these two countries. Even though Ukraine hasn't given in and he doesn't have total control of Ukraine, he has total control of the water, the Black Sea, where Ukraine has to get their ships through to get their products out to the rest of the world. which he is not allowing. The world leaders and NATO and all them have requested that he would allow these ships and stuff to get out, but he's not doing it. So that puts a strain on everything that's going on. You see, when the chaos really hits home, it's going to start like it is starting right now in this country. It's going to start with you're getting all these small little people are ready to crack at any given moment. You're to the point where if somebody, cuts you off or something like that, you don't say anything anymore. You probably get shot because people are like a real short fuse on a firecracker. And these are the people you really got to be careful of and watch out for. That's why, if you're going to be going somewhere, you're going to be doing something, it's very important for you to keep your eyes open, keep your eyes out of your phone, keep your eyes open to what is going on around you and what's happening. Because if something bad is about to go down, you want to be able to react as fast as possible. Whether that means you have to take cover, you have to run, you have to do whatever you got to do to get you and your family out of harm's way. Because these people, they just don't care. And that's a real hard thing for a lot of people, especially in this country, to wrap their heads around because a lot of people here, we truly believe that, you know, you want to help out somebody, you want to help people out, you want to try to do the right thing and everything else. And there's people out there that want to take advantage of what you are doing. And they also want to turn around and use you. Um, it's getting to the point where it seems like they're not afraid to take what you got or kill you. And like I said, this isn't all in every little town, because, if you live in a small town out in the middle of, Tennessee, Kentucky, Vermont, and Utah, whatever, you probably don't have a lot of this. A lot of this is all starting in these major cities, and you're going to see more and more of it before it gets any better. And the only thing that I really believe per history that'll bring this country back together again, and I'll probably get a lot of flack for saying this, but it is true if you know your history, is another war. I don't want that. But per history, every time there was a war, the country came back together again as a whole and did whatever they had to do and made whatever we had to make so that we could win the war. Now, if that was to happen, if we was to go to war today, I hope that, that would take place again, because if not, we're going to lose the war because it's all going to be sitting on the container ships out in the ocean out there. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, yes, we're doing really, really good right now. Stores are pretty well stocked, overstocked. Um, Everybody's having all these big, huge sales. And just to give you guys a little heads up for everybody that's on here with my video that's coming out tomorrow, if you are looking or starting to look for back to school supplies and stuff, you need to check out Walmart online, or if you're going to the store or whatever else, because they're starting to have some really good deals on back to school supplies. I'm just trying to give you a heads up. It's going to be in my video tomorrow. I'm going to talk about a lot of other things also, but that's the big thing that's coming up next is back to school. And a lot of people are struggling to make sure that their kids have what they need. And I know a lot of people, you don't like Walmart or anything else. But listen, folks, times are tough. All right. So if that means you have to go to Walmart to get your kid a backpack, pencils, crayons, paper, whatever it may be, if you can save some money doing it at this point in time, bite the bullet, put your pride aside and go in and do the shopping. Or you can do it right online from the comforts of your own home. And now, guess what? I mean, nobody knows if you're afraid that the Joneses are going to see you down the street. The name of the game right now is to try to conserve as much as you can. We have the feds that are they're already said they're going to be raising the interest rates. It's looking like it's going to be 0.75% now. And from what they said in their minutes from the other day, in September, they're going to raise it another 0.5%. This is just going to keep going up. It's going to put us in a recession, even though the government says, no, we're not going to go into recession. Everything's going to be fine. We'll get under control with these, raising all these interest rates and everything else. Now, how long do you think a lot of these big corporations and these companies and stuff are going to be able to handle when all their interest rates and everything on their loans that they have, and everything else, and they can't afford them anymore, and they start closing? They have to lay people off to cover whatever it is. If you go back to the housing bubble that burst in 2000, the late 2008 and 9 through 2011, 212 million people lost their jobs. It's history, folks. History repeats itself quite often. And it's always almost the same thing. Now, I hope if the bottom falls out or whatever, because nobody really knows exactly how far this is going to go. I really hope it's nothing like the Great Depression or anything like that. But we have to get thinking of that mentality of how to survive, how to stretch meals, and how to avoid the chaos, because we haven't crested the hill. The worst is yet to come before we can start back down to the valley. I'm very concerned about a lot of people out there from a lot of the comments. Now, I know most of these people that are making these comments probably are not subscribed to this channel. And they click and, they put comments in and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of them you people don't even see because they get blocked right away. But the point of it is, there's a lot of people out there that are living in doubt. They don't believe that anything like this is going to happen. They don't think that anything that is going to happen is going to be that bad that they can't get through. But what happens if you lose your job? If you lose your job, your whole world just changed, especially if you had a very good paying job. See, that's the thing. A lot of people think, okay, I got money in the bank right now. I've got, you know, I've got stocks. I've got all this kind of stuff. I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm not prepping. I'm not putting anything away. Yeah, that's good. What happens if what took place in Canada happens here? Your stocks are useless. Your bank account is useless because you can't access it. And what are you going to do? You have to make sure that you do have emergency funds available in cash in small denomination of bills, ones, fives, tens, and if you want, you can even throw in a few 20s. Nothing any bigger in your emergency supply money. Because if people can't make change, we go through it down here all the time with hurricanes, folks, here in Florida. And if anybody's in Texas, I'm sure maybe you went through it too. Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina. It doesn't matter. You think of that mentality and what is taking place. Hurricane just went through. 7-Eleven up the street opened the doors to sell whatever they had inside. Cash only. No credit cards, no debit cards, no tapping your phone. Cash. And I mean, a lot of people out there that are in the prepping world, they all really sit back and they think about, well, if you're a prepper and everything, you got to have, you don't want cash. You want to have silver and gold. Well, I really truly believe that even if something majorly did happen and people had cash, people are still going to take cash because it's kind of like embedded into our brain, folks. I mean, that's what our whole system is based off of cash. If somebody had a bag of potatoes and you had a $20 bill, they're going to take your $20 bill, even if it's worthless, because in their mind, they're going to think it's 20 bucks. And that's just how we're programmed by the government, is by money. Money runs everything. Money runs this government, makes all the decisions. All these big people that had the money control all the politicians. All of them. Some way, shape, or form, somebody's got their hand in the cookie jar. So, what do we do? How do we avoid the chaos? Are you prepared? Do you think that you have enough preps to get you through the next coming storm? Do you have enough preps to try and survive for you and your family the next coming storm? That's the question. The true question is how to avoid the chaos, knowing that it's going to get worse, is to be prepared as much as you can. Maybe you're on tight funds. Maybe your money's real tight right now because of the price of everything going up. I mean, rent's going through the roof, housing payments are going through the roof. If you want to buy a new car, if you have to get a new car, a used car, your interest rates are even higher. Your credit cards are probably going to be going up. If you need to take a loan out of the bank to try to cover if your car broke down or whatever, that rate is going to be going up. The price of food is going to be going up even more than it is now, folks, because these companies can only afford so much, and then they're not going to take any losses. Trust me. The people that are going to be paying for it is us, not anybody else, us. And then what are we left with? You want to try to do as much as you possibly can to get yourself through this situation that we're in, and try and keep a positive attitude. Make sure that you are always keeping your eyes open, your eyes and ears. Listen to what's going on around you and watch, especially if you live in a large metropolitan area where there's a lot of people, because those are the areas where a lot of things can go down really quick and really fast, and you got to be able to get out of harm's way. However, you have to do it. I hope everybody is heeding the warnings that are out there, because the media, the mainstream media, is only telling you what they want you to know, or possibly whatever the government wants them to know. We, on the other hand, see what is going on. We see the prices in the food store that have gone up. We see the chaos that is taking place on the streets on a daily basis. We see how people are treating each other. We see which way this is going. You see when you fill up your car at the gas station and it's costing you an arm and a leg. So, folks, on that, all I can do is ask everybody out there to please be prepared. Please keep an open mind and try to stay positive through the coming days, weeks, and months. Because if we don't all try to stick together if we all don't try to work together to come up with a common ground to survive a bad situation, to have the knowledge to succeed in surviving a bad situation, then it's going to be really bad for a lot of people. Because there's a lot of people that are in denial. There's a lot of people that walk around with blinders on. There's a lot of people that just don't believe the government would screw them. And they're wrong. You know it, and I know it. So I hope for the people that are watching this that hasn't subscribed to this channel, the easiest way to get a lot of great information is just hit the subscribe button. That's all you got to do. And to everybody that has subscribed to this channel, I know a lot of people have told me that they're sharing videos and, all that kind of stuff with their friends and family, and hopefully making a difference. Because the only way we can make a difference is to get the word out. Once we get the word out, then it's up to those people to make up their own mind how they want to go about this. Do you want to be prepared, or do you not want to be prepared? It's better to be somewhat prepared than not to be prepared at all. Just how it rolls, folks. All right, I'm going to jump over here. Let's see what's going on. If you got any comments or questions, make sure you put them on all caps, and let's see what we can find out over here. Let me scroll up. I think I saw a super chat or a super sticker. Okay, a super sticker. Rios 7018. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. All that money goes right into this channel, and we try to. That's why I'm working on getting some really good giveaways again. And I hope if this pans out what I want to do, you guys are going to really like it. All right, let's see. We'll start right about there. All right, so Vicky says, we had a hurricane here in Florida, and since we were out in the country, we waited over 2 weeks for electricity, and our poor little country store couldn't do business unless you had cash. See, that's what I'm saying, folks. You got to having that cash is very key. Carmela Yates, God helps those that helps themselves. Don't think you can just sit on your keister and not prepare for an emergency. Amen. All right. I get so many comments where people say, I'm not doing anything. God's going to take care of me and everything else. Now, I believe in God. I've gone to church. I don't go to church right now, but I've gone to church. I went to a private school, the whole 9 yards. I know a lot about the Bible and all this kind of stuff. But in the end, folks, I hate to tell you, but God wants you to be prepared. He gives you the tools and the knowledge on being prepared. And this way here, you can survive to carry on and spread his word in a time of need until he returns. Just saying, folks, there you go. That's because I get a lot of comments, I get emails and everything else. And I'm very nice. And if I reply or whatever else, but a lot of people are just like, oh, I'm not going to go into it. All right. Good humor, man. Protect yourself, your children, and your family. Yes. Chad says, I will be cooking moonshine, drinking water, wearing, what is it? 4 body armor with a fishing pole in hand and a SBR on my back. Well, however you need to prepare. Justin says, I took the kiddos to a trampoline park today and they only took a card, no cash. I will not go back there again. Well, that's pretty weird. I mean, they're trying to push, they want the dollar bill. They want the paper money and change and all that. They want all that gone. And they want you to have to use your cell phone here so you can tap the little thing. And so they say, okay, well, you paid your $3.99. Thank you very much. You know, but what happens when this goes down and no one has any money? What are we going to do then, folks? Has the government thought about that? Or is that their way to really control everybody? Think about that. If they get their way and they go to a whole new currency and they change everything, but what happens if the system goes down? I mean, I don't know, folks. It's a scary time we live in. The chaos is still going on. Grim things, rolls of coins is a good idea too. Yes. You can also use rolls of coin for defense. All right, let me scroll down through. Coffee first and speak. Nice to see you. That's my other moderator. Jumped in here. Good Humor Man says, you will want to hunker down when things get very dangerous out there. Yes, you will. You are not going to be out, wanting to be out, trying to move around or do anything else because that's not going to be a very wise idea. You're going to have to get very stealthy if you have to go do anything. Say you have to collect water, you have to go, whatever it may be. Maybe you got to get across the street to your mother's house or whatever else. But just going from point A to point B, even though it's that small little area, if things get that bad, that could be a very dangerous situation. All right. Trying to scroll down through here. LJC, do you have a Rumble channel? No censorship. No, I do not. I've thought about one of those. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff that's going on right now, just dealing with this channel and some social media stuff. So maybe down the road, I'll have to look into that. All right. Does anyone wish things would just happen and get over with? Prepper 911. Yes, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have that same exact feeling. Sometimes I do. Just get it over with now. I guess if you're prepped and you're ready, it's a lot easier for me or you to say that, just get over with. I mean, if it's going to be a housing crash, if it's going to be a stock market crash, a recession, whatever it's going to be, just do it now. Just get it over with so we can start building things back and hopefully learn from our mistakes. But as a country, sometimes we just don't do that. History proves that. But I can see where you're coming from, Prepper 911, and I could also see where the other side would be coming from too. Like I said, I think it's all based on how you are prepped and how much you are ready. Stewards prepping. Hey, good to see you there, buddy. Tinfoil brat. I like that. Yep. Landlord raised rent in middle of the what mysterious illness. $200 more a month. Wow. Ooh, everything is just. Yes, Pat. 70,000 independent truck drivers in California can no longer drive in California. That's going to be a huge strain on the supply chain. Pat, you are so correct. And what they are doing out there is just, I don't know what the heck they're doing out there. It's like we're already hurting. And you got one state that's really just screwing the rest of the country here with these idiotic laws that they're trying to pass out there. And now they've put like Pat just said, 70,000 truck drivers, independent truck drivers, out of business. They could no longer drive. I mean, and that's where what 80% of the goods for this country come into. I mean, I know there are ports down in Texas, Louisiana, down that way, and there's also ports up along the East Coast. But majority of all this stuff comes in from the Pacific Ocean because it all comes from across the water. See what I'm saying? Comes from Japan, Taiwan, um, comes from China. All those areas over there, all Vietnam, all that stuff comes across. JT, that's a pretty good idea. I put money in an envelope every month for car maintenance. No pain when I have to take my to my mechanic. Anything left over rolls over to the next year. Very good. All right. Diggy Dog says, when banks shut, then what? Well, if you don't have any cash, we're all pretty much screwed, and that's if the banks did shut down and for some reason they didn't reopen back up for however long period of time. Whatever cash you do have is going to go really quick if you're not prepared. Then that's when you're going to fall back to your silver and your gold, and that's where that'll come into play. But hopefully we don't have to go down that hole. All right, let me scroll on down through here. Oh, we just jumped again. All right. Roxanne Tracy, I'm sick of it all. Fixed income is killing me. I would go on disability rate before everything went to double hockey sticks. Frankie Boy, 1 for 1, one like to one viewer. Good humor. Jaded here. You love your channel, Inside Reporter. Thank you very much. Let me see here. Sherry Miller, exactly. Money won't be worth the value it's printed on. I do agree with that statement. Justin says, I hate anyone feels tired, but glad it's just not me. Yes, I think a lot of people are just tired of, the whole thing and the whole thing that's going on right now. I think a lot of people are just they're done with it. They don't want to you know, they just want it to be over. Dan says Sam's Club is selling 70-inch TVs for $600. Yes, Sam's and Walmart's are having some incredible sales. I do go over a lot of that tomorrow on my video. They also are having some really good sales on some preparedness products that you probably all should really think about if you don't have any, or maybe you need to add something to that. So tune in for that video tomorrow at noon. Weatherman, the Fed might stop sending out government checks. I wouldn't be surprised if things got so bad that they would do that, that they would just stop paying Social Security and everything else, and you're affecting millions and millions of people. I tell you, it's really sad where we're headed here, folks. Shady Tree, Costco, 100-watt solar panel for $100. Well, I tell you, you got to really start looking on Amazon too, folks, here, because I scored a 220-watt solar panel. It's got all the connections. It'll charge everything from like your batteries, like if you had a power, like your home or something, right down to your battery banks, your cell phones. It's got all those connections and everything in there. I got it on Amazon for 248 bucks pre-sale. But it's one of these things where they throw it out there and you get that little thing that says there's only 18 left. And I really wonder about that, but I've never been able to find out any information about that. But, so it's either, okay, you buy it, you pass it up. If you put it in your cart, next thing you know, when you go back in, it's already gone. So it's just one of those things over this coming week, folks. You really got to be paying attention to Walmart, Amazon, Target, all these different places, Kohl's. Like I said, if you're thinking about back to school, this could be your week to maximize your money for all the back to school products and stuff that you may need for your family, for your kids, and everything else. Because a lot of these places, they have a lot of stock they have to get rid of. And I think they want to get rid of it before the feds raise the interest rates again. And I think there's a whole plot here. But we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out, because I believe that after these sales are all done, then they're going to turn around and I discussed something in my video tomorrow, but they want to turn around and you're going to start seeing prices go up on a lot of goods because, like I said before earlier in the video, they're going to make the money back. Grim Things, we put a solar on the house and installed a 15,000-watt battery, but it put us into some considerable debt. It works really well, though. Our freezer stayed on, and so does the air conditioning and the heater. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, when you're talking about something of that level, I'd almost say it's worth it, just because if the power grid goes down or something like that, you have some way to generate power. Downside is you got to make sure that if the power grid is out and everybody's dark, you don't want your house lit up like a Christmas tree, because you're just giving away what you have and somebody else is going to want it. So you're going to have to play it cool, if you get what I'm saying. Unfortunately, I would definitely invest in tea light candles that you could put around your house and the inside and keep your windows all closed up as much as possible for nighttime. Jennifer says, free speech, yes. Last year's stuff, yes. AG, no loud generator. Nope. I do have a gas generator, but that's not for an SHTF situation. That's for hurricane situation. All right. So if I need to fire that bad boy up, because all my neighbors have gas generators, we all do. So, I mean, it's nothing new. All my battery banks and stuff, and I have a new one coming that I scored on that I'll be talking with you all about. But, I mean, you got to have something that's quiet. You can just go right in your house and, take it out in the backyard. Like my backyard's all fenced in. I can take it out there and charge it and everything else. Free speeches 2023 is going to be a nightmare. I've been prepping. Sorry, it's moving on me here. I've been prepping for over a year and not stopping now. Many around me are clueless. Yes, and don't stop. You just keep doing whatever you can do and try to maintain the level that you have on your preps, if nothing else, to add to it. So if you are prepping and you use your pantry, but it's also a working prepper pantry, you got to make sure that you're replenishing as you're using, and rotating your stock is very key, folks. So make sure that you always are rotating your stock. If you buy something new, it needs to go to the back, just like they do, well, like they used to do in the grocery stores. All right. I have noticed in several different stores, not particularly Walmart, but Aldi's, Publix, and Winn-Dixie. That's the 3 stores that are around me besides Walmart. And I have noticed where if you reach in the back and you grab a can back there, the date, which should be the longest date, is the earliest date. So they're just shoving the stuff on the shelves and pushing everything to the back. So if you're one of these people like I used to be, and I'd always reach to the back to grab something because I knew I'd be getting the longest date. It was usually either a few months or it could be a year past what the can in the front was. Doesn't work that way so much anymore, folks. So make sure you're checking your dates if you're one of these people where you always try to pull from the back, because that's how things are standardly done. But they don't do it that way a lot anymore. I'm not going to say it's everywhere. I'm not going to say that, every store does it all the time, but I think they do have people that are being rushed. There have people that are being overworked and everything else, and they're told, you got to put this whole cart out before you go home or whatever else, and they just shove it on the shelves. And can you say that you blame them in a sense? I mean, a lot of these people, they don't have enough workers or anything else, and what's happening? And just so everybody's quite aware, with this whole trucker thing out in California, this is going to come back to bite us. A lot of the stores are overstocked right now. What's going to happen when all the stock is gone? You have to ask yourself that, because now you just took 70 rigs off the road, and 70,000 rigs, I should say, off the road. That's 70,000 containers that aren't moving. Think about that, folks. Do the math. That's why I'm saying we haven't crested the hill yet. We got to get over that hill before we can start back down to the valley. We just haven't made it. And for some reason, we just can't get over that hill. Tinfoil Brat. My first job was at Publix bagging groceries and Zion's and shelves. And by God, the manager watched us like a hawk to make sure we brought the back merchandise to the front. Yes, that's how it used to be. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, that's just how it was. And, I mean, but it's just not that way anymore. Gwen Taylor, best brand of solar generators. Well, it all depends on how much money you have. I mean, you can get ones that are real expensive. I like the ones that most of the ones that I have are all rock piles. And I like the company because they stood behind their products. When I did receive one, it was damaged, and I had went past my 30 days, and I contacted Amazon. Amazon said I had to reach out to through Amazon, had to reach out to Rock Piles and explain my situation. So I told them exactly what had happened. And it just wasn't charging. It wouldn't hold a charge, and it wouldn't charge. It would go to 20%, and that was it. Now I spent a couple $100 on this generator. They sent me a brand new one. And they didn't even want the old one back. I mean, it's useless. I mean, I have it sitting out in the garage. It'll go to 20%, and that's it. Yeah, you probably get a cell phone charge or two out of it, but it won't hold a charge very long. So once you charge it, you got to charge something else. So that's why all my solar panels all have the connectors where I can just charge my cell phone right from the solar panel. I don't have to have a battery bank for that. I can use my battery banks to do other things, around the house. But there are a lot of great ones out there. It just depends on the money you want to spend. And this is a good week to shop around, especially on Amazon. Um, if you're looking to get a really good solar generator, you can drop anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000, depending on what size you want. But Riri says, for those of you on Social Security and struggling, just an extra couple cans will help. Don't be discouraged. Just do your level best. I'm right there with you. And that's it's really hard for people that are on Social Security. I mean, my mom is, my mother-in-law is. I know quite a few people are. And it's very difficult. By the time my mom pays her rent, car payment, insurance, and all this other kind of stuff, um, she ain't got much money left. And there for a while, I was sending her because she likes to shop at Aldi's because in the town that she lives in, they have some of the best and cheapest prices. So I would send her gift cards to Aldi's. And that way there, she could go and do her shopping and everything else. And, it's very difficult. I can't imagine the amount of people that are on Social Security that are struggling between their housing cost, their prescriptions costs, if they're on any medications, just their basic needs, food, I mean, it's not a lot there. And, I did see where the federal government did say this could be the largest increase in I forget how many years coming up for Social Security because they have to catch up because of the interest rates going up, inflation has gone up. So that means they need a cost of a living raise to try to get them somewhat equal and out of poverty, you know. And I forget what it was. I think it was 8.5%, I believe. So, I mean, that'll help a little bit. But the problem is the prices are going to keep going up even past. This isn't going to be solved by the beginning of the year, folks. Lily Bishop, a taser and prepper spray would be two forms of protection. Yes, I would highly agree. Craig, it's all smoke and mirrors. The government's really good at that. Trust me. Lunch meat today, $8.50. Yeah, lunch meat has been expensive. I take my lunch to work. Holy cow, is lunch meat getting expensive? I mean, you want roast beef? It's like 12, 14 bucks a pound. It's like, how much is that ham? I mean, come on. All right, folks. We're pushing almost an hour here. I'd like to really thank my moderators and everything for them being here, for everything that they do for this channel. I would also like to thank everybody that has shown up. We had people here from Australia, from Canada, from all over the United States. I did see a couple people that are from England. We all have to really stay prepared. In this last minute or so of the video here, I want to make sure that you all are very aware of all the really, really chaotic things that are going on. And I want to make sure that you people understand it's going to get worse before it gets better. Remember, we haven't crested the hill yet. You need to do whatever you can do to be prepared. This coming week could be a good time for you to stock up on maybe some survival products or back to school, folks. Do not forget. All right. School's going to be rolling around the corner here real soon. And you need to try to save some money. And if you can do it this week, maybe it'll help you out because the Lord only knows what the prices are going to be the closer we get to back to school. The key is on this channel, I give you the information. I try to give you the knowledge so that you can be prepared for you and your family, so that you are ready. What you do with that knowledge I give you is your choice. I cannot sit here and I can't make you do things. I can't make you prep. I can't make you understand the importance of being ready. I can talk to you about it. I can try to plead my case. But in the end, you are your own judge and jury. It's what you decide to do. My job is to try to make sure that you have the knowledge and the information to succeed in being prepared. Shady Tree, thank you very much for that super chat. Keep stocking, one can at a time, one tree at a time. Amen. And on that note, folks, I want to say thank you once again to everyone. Next weekend, we will have more information coming out about giveaways. We're going to have some more giveaways coming up. Like I did say in the very beginning, I am working on those right now. And I really want to thank everybody for all that you do for this channel, for all the likes, for all the views, for all the shares, for all the subscribes. Once again, this would not be possible without you, each and every one of you that is out there watching these videos. So until next Saturday night, folks, don't forget to tune in tomorrow at noon. We have a video coming out every Sunday at noon. And then there'll be videos from Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I'll see you back here next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm Survival Preparedness for Beginners. And I'll catch you all on the flip side.